that will come to me, and a lot of my clients, and they will be dealing with issues. And, me being, I would say a Christian, me being just a believer, period. Um, and having, that discernment, you know, I would actually stop, and ask them, like, what's going on with you? There's been a few times I had to take. Hello?
Yeah, you there, Miss Jackson?
Yeah, for some reason I got kicked off. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But there's been a few times that I had to take some of my clients in the bathroom and talk to them, or take them outside, allow them to express, what was going on in their life, and just me being there to either talk them through it, or to even just say a prayer, and then, resume with, the style, you know, um, like Ron always say, like, we're doctors, we really are. We're doctors and we're therapists. And our clients, they come in and they have so much going on, and we just have to be there, to help them along. Not saying that we can solve all their problems and issues, but however, it's good to be, um, you have to be in tune. It's not just about, cutting hair, or just, giving your client a hairstyle or whatever. It's about being in tune, and just, taking notice, because they do, some of your clients become your friends, you know, and some of them, they just become family, so you have to be present,
You know,
go ahead.
no, thank you. And with that being said, if you're not a people person, it's going to be hard.
Right.
So like in particular, Miles, I know sometimes you don't like touching people. You don't like people touching you. You don't like people touching your station. You don't like people in your area, and that's good. That's good that you have that protective shield. That's how you want things. But what happens when, after doing 5-6 people, a customer come in and rubs you the wrong way? And it's like, how do you deal with it and keep your mental health? Mr. Reagan, good morning. How you doing?
Peace and blessings. How's everybody?
Good, man. Thank you for joining us. Hey, listen,
Yeah.
we just go. If you was listening, we were talking about how to deal with customers,
Yeah.
and what I wanted to elaborate on is mental health today, because you have to have a healthy mind to be able to come in and deal with like 10 to 20, 30 different people. So how do you deal with that, Mel? Which was some of your
first of all, man, I want to commend you, man, for even bringing that to the floor. You know what I mean? It's something that's not even talked about in the barber industry, and it's very important to you know what I mean, to like highlight, you know what I'm saying, the stress and the mental health that barbers and stylists go through on a day-to-day basis, man. It's so, first of all, I just want to commend you for bringing that up, man. But I mean, for me, man, I mean, like, I heard what Miss Jackson was saying, as far as, how we kind of can be somebody's therapist, or, you know what I mean, somebody that, our customers confide in with certain personal information that they may be going through, certain things that they're going through in their lives, and we can help them through it. At the same time, I was in a class one day with Andrea, Bach, Ryan.
Right.
I was in one of her classes, and she had brought up something that was made me look at things from a different perspective. But you know, she had said something. She had said that like when customers come in and sit in her chair and want to talk about their problems, she tell them like, look, I'm here to cut your hair. I'm here to do your hair. You know what I mean? I'm here to do your hair. To where as though some people, you know what I mean, will ask questions like, well, what happened and this, that, and the third. And now you're absorbing that energy. You're absorbing, you're opening the gate and opening the door for you to take on that person's energy, which is therefore going to drain your energy. And you know what I mean? At the same time, like, you know, you can, you know, be trying to help somebody and hurting yourself without even knowing. You know what I mean? Because you know, what you allow to enter your mind is going to affect your mind. You know what I mean? In some way, some shape, or form. And then now you're having a conversation while people are trying to, you know, get in the chair. You know what I mean? So that conversation is going to, you know what I mean, prolong the service that you're providing. You know what I mean? So, you know, I try to keep it short. You know what I mean? I try not to, you know what I mean? You know, I might just say, look, I understand this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. But as far as like, you know, you're going to go through a lot of things like with kids, it's going to, you know, stress you out. People that want, you know, that's real in particular, they real picky, you know what I mean? It's going to be times where you're going to be stressed out. You're going to feel like, you know what I mean, cussing somebody out. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Be still. You know what I mean? How many times I got to tell you? You know what I mean? Things like that. Like, you know what I mean? So you have to be able to be patient and be, you know what I mean, mindful that, you know, you're working in an industry where you're dealing with a lot of different personalities, and you have to be strong enough to, you know, to deal with that.
Right.
And on a professional level. On a professional level.
Can I say something on that too? Like with that, and I totally agree with you when it comes to that. And then you have like this day and age now that you have a lot of people who have had experiences with mental health because of, you know, COVID. You know, let out a whole lot of stuff. So that's why now they are having like this Barber Beauty initiative where they're actually, you know, it's starting in Pittsburgh because that's where you have a high number of suicide and a high number of mental health cases where, and they notice that a lot of people who do go and get their hair done in the salon and the barbershop, they are releasing stuff onto their barbers and their beauticians. So they have this initiative to actually train barbers and stylists on how to deal with those issues, not training them how to be counselors, you know, but training how to, you know, like you said, keep it short, but at the same time, listen, here's information, here's a referral, because you could be saving somebody's life, you know. It only takes, you know, 2 to 5 minutes to listen to what somebody have to say, and just to tell them, listen, I'm not trained in that area. However, I do have this information for you. You know, this could possibly save your life, because I would hate to have, you know, one of my clients come to me, you know, and they try to tell me something, which is, you know, it's not fair, you know, but they tell you, and the next thing you know, you like, oh, what happened to, you know, Cat, or what happened to James? Oh, they committed suicide. Or, oh, you know what I mean? So it's like, listen, if I have this information for you, listen, take it. I'm not a therapist, you know, I'm not a professional in that way, but I do have some information for you where you can actually go get help.
Well, I thank both of you guys for sharing. We're talking about some stuff that has affected, I know it's affected me. And like I said, I want you guys to have a blueprint on how to be successful. And one of the things where I fell victim to was just being an open barber and not really doing appointments. And what wound up happening was I got so much clientele that I got burnt out, because it was like I had to be a certain way for each and every customer, which which didn't allow me to really be my damn self. And what I mean by that is you have to be courteous, you have to be nice, you have to be professional. And you know, sometimes you may be agitated or going through something, and a person might be picky, might be saying, one side is different than the other, or can you fade this side a little bit? And you sitting there saying to yourself, I done spent the whole hour on this.
Yeah.
Well, I know this thing tight. And in your mind, you're saying, they just want to mess with me. You want to mess with me. But nonetheless, one of the things that's so important, and I'm finally realizing the importance of making people make appointments. Making people make appointments, because you have to make time for yourself.
So
You got to make time for yourself. Yo, man, it's so much time that I spent in the barbershop, and this is just my story. This is me. This is nobody else's me. I have spent so much time in the barbershop that I neglected other things in my life, because I was always waiting on the next customer, where other barbers was like, look, you got to make an appointment. You want me? This is what you got to do. You know what I mean? And that's the importance of making appointments, y'all. You want to say something, Donnie?
Good morning.
Good
Morning, Donnie.
How y'all doing?
Good.
All right. I want to speak on it. About something that Ron just said. Taking time out for yourself. You know, that's what I was doing lately, because a lot of things was coming at me. You know, it was like so much was coming at me at once, and I had to make a decision. And my decision was my family. You know what I mean? Family come first. So I set the school aside for a moment, but I kept in touch with Ron. You know what I mean? And another thing, I went through the same thing. As far as I was cutting this guy hair one day. Ron remember, and the guy told me he wanted a temple taper. So I'm cutting him a temple taper, and then he just stood up as I'm cutting. So I backed off. I looked at him, and he was like, "Man, you gonna be all day." I said, "What are you talking about? Didn't you say you want a temple taper?" He was like, he wanted a fade. When he said he wanted a temple taper, I described it to him. I said, he said, low like yours. I said, you want it all the way around, or you just want the side? He said the side and the back taper. That's a temple taper. So when he stood up, I immediately said, give me the cake. I'm not cutting your hair. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna put myself in a position where as though I had to go upside his head or something, because he's gonna do something. So I let somebody else cut him. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta take yourself out the equation, because if you allow that person that's going through something to get to you, then both of y'all looking stupid. That's why I took myself out the equation. And I asked the person like 4 or 5 times now, you know, and they got a picture on the wall that I was gonna start doing. You know, the fades on the wall in the school?
Right.
I was gonna walk the customer over to there and say, show me which one you want. Because I'm not gonna waste my time, and I'm wasting, I'm not getting no money for the half-ass cut that I'm doing, you know what I mean? Because he calling it off.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that would make me mad, because it did make me mad. But I just chalked it up. You know, because I'm a better man than that. I don't do the stupid shit that I used to do.
Right. And see, all that plays a part of our mental health, you know.
Right.
And I got something for us today, so I want to share this with y'all. I got a little video on mental health. We're gonna watch. It's like a little 5-minute one. after we watch it. Hopefully it will bring us closer to understanding how important it is to make time for you. You know what I mean? How important it is. So hold tight 1 second, class.
And real quick, Miss Jackson, if you can share that initiative, that information on that initiative.
I sure will. I was just about to pull it up too.
Yeah, because that's a powerful initiative.
You're ready to start your own business, to turn that passion into a paycheck. All
so efficient and hushed are our brains in their day-to-day operations. We are apt to miss what an extraordinary and complicated achievement it is to feel mentally well. A mind in a healthy state is, in the background, continually performing a near miraculous set of maneuvers that underpin our moods of clear-sightedness and purpose. To appreciate what mental health might be, and therefore what its opposite involves, we might take a moment to consider some of what will be going on in the folds of an optimally functioning mind. First and foremost, a healthy mind is an editing mind, an organ that manages to sieve from thousands of stray, dramatic, disconcerting or horrifying thoughts, those particular ideas and sensations that actively need to be entertained in order for us to direct our lives effectively. Partly, this means keeping at bay punitive and critical judgments that might want to tell us repeatedly how disgraceful and appalling we are, long after harshness has ceased to serve any useful purpose. When we are interviewing for a new job or taking someone on a date, a healthy mind doesn't force us to listen to inner voices that insist on our unworthiness. It allows us to talk to ourselves as we would to a friend. At the same time, a healthy mind resists the pull of unfair comparisons. It doesn't constantly allow the achievements and successes of others to throw us off course and reduce us to a state of bitter inadequacy. It doesn't torture us by continually comparing our condition to that of people who have, in reality, had very different upbringings and trajectories through life. A well-functioning mind recognizes the futility and cruelty of constantly finding fault with its own nature. Along the way, a healthy mind keeps a judicious grip on the faucet of fear. It knows that, in theory, there is an endless number of things that we could worry about. A blood vessel might fail, a scandal might erupt, the plane's engines could shear from their wings. But it has a good sense of the distinction between what could conceivably happen and what is in fact likely to happen. And it is able to leave us in peace as regards the wilder eventualities of fate, confident that awful things will either not unfold or could be dealt with ably enough if ever they did so. A healthy mind avoids catastrophic imaginings. It knows that there are broad and stable stone steps, not a steep and slippery incline, between itself and disaster. A healthy mind has compartments with heavy doors that shut securely. It can compartmentalize where it needs to. Not all thoughts belong at all moments. While talking to a grandmother, the mind prevents the emergence of images of last night's erotic fantasies. While looking after a child, it can repress its more cynical and misanthropic insights. Aberrant thoughts about jumping on a train line or harming oneself with a sharp knife can remain brief, peculiar flashes, rather than repetitive fixations. A healthy mind has mastered the techniques of censorship. A healthy mind can quieten its own buzzing preoccupations in order, at times, to focus on the world beyond itself. It can be present and engaged with what and who is immediately around. Not everything it could feel has to be felt at every moment. It can be a good listener. A healthy mind combines an appropriate suspicion of certain people with a fundamental trust in humanity. It can take an intelligent risk with a stranger. It doesn't extrapolate from life's worst moments in order to destroy the possibility of anything good emerging with a new acquaintance. A healthy mind knows how to hope. It identifies and then hangs on tenaciously to a few reasons to keep going. Grounds for despair, anger, and sadness are, of course, all around. But the healthy mind knows how to bracket negativity in the name of endurance. It clings to evidence of what is still beautiful and kind. It remembers to appreciate. It can, despite everything, still look forward to a hot bath, some dried fruit or dark chocolate, a chat with a friend, or a satisfying day of work. It refuses to let itself be silenced by all the many sensible arguments in favour of rage and despondency. Outlining some of the features of a healthy mind helps us to identify what can go awry when we fall ill. We should acknowledge the extent to which mental illness is ultimately as common and as essentially unshameful as its bodily counterpart. True mental health involves a frank acceptance of how much ill health there will have to be in even the most ostensibly competent and meaningful life. And we should be no more reluctant to seek help than we are when we develop a chest infection or a sore knee, and should consider ourselves no less worthy of love and sympathy.
Our online shop has a
Okay.
range of books and gifts that address the...
All right. Okay. Mr. Caldwell.
Yes, sir.
So what give me some feedback.
I think it was a very good demonstration, especially the way that it broke down the editing mind. I thought that there was a good way of us kind of understanding how the mind works or how it can work. Definitely to your benefit, and just being able to kind of compartmentalize and just again, the editing part, I thought that was a very good term, to kind of help you compartmentalize, as I said before, and kind of shun things that aren't healthy for the mind, and process other things that are. And it gave great examples of that, and I think it was a really good demonstration.
Okay. Ms. Jackson.
Yes.
Did you get anything from that video?
Yes, I think that it was definitely a good video. It definitely gave I would say a nice summary of how, the mind actually functions. I do like the part where they were saying how the brain is able to filter out, like negativity. And it kind of made me think about what we were just talking about earlier, like when your client comes and, dump all that negativity on you, you have to filter that out, what I mean, and realize that you are not that person's savior, So I think that was a good video.
But at the same time, you still have to be respectful.
Right. You have to be respectful. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, Mr. Short, you got any feedback?
My bad. No, y'all pretty much summed it up.
Okay. So for those that just came on, today we were talking about mental health. We were talking about how important it is to have a good mindset. How heavy it can become working behind that barber chair, because you have to deal with so many different people that it's almost like you can become a robot. You can become a robot and you can burn yourself out. So it's really important to take time for yourself when being in this business, because if you expect to get good, then you should be expecting to do like 10 people a day. And if you're doing 10 people a day, that's 10 different conversations, 10 different personalities, 10 different attitudes. And a lot of times, you know, guess what? Energy is never lost, it's just transferred. You know what I mean? So it's times that people can get in your chair and they can have a certain energy. And I'm gonna be honest, I'll be like, you know what? I don't even want to cut you.
Yes.
I don't say that, but I'll be like, you know what? Let me get this shit over with. You know what I mean? Because excuse my language, but that's just reality. And I used to look at people like Jamil, my man Petey. Petey worked for the hair company. And I used to look at other barbers and be like, man, they make appointments. I ain't making no appointments. You can walk in and get a cut and walk out because that was the old school barber way. But guess what? Them guys that make appointments, they make people be on their time.
There you go.
Absolutely.
People have to be on. You
amazing.
doing this service. Now, all I'm gonna say is, guess what? You may have some customers that you can extend, and you say, you know what? All right, I don't mind doing being flexible for some people, but not for the people who don't appreciate your service.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, that customer that been coming for 20 years, you know, you got to give them you have to give them some kind of royalty.
Right.
But I'm talking about the inconsistent people or the people who just think, yo, it got to a point, I'm not going to lie to you. I felt like cutting hair was wiping ass. And the only reason I felt like that, I felt like that is because I didn't take time for myself.
Right. That's deep people, right there.
It was me not taking time. So before we go on break, we're gonna pass the torch. What are some things that we can do as professionals?
Mr. Vaughn, I just want to elaborate on everything. Like, well, you said a whole lot of like important stuff. You know, just taking time out for yourself, scheduling appointments. And even when you said that you felt like, you know, at one time, cutting hair was like, you know, wiping behinds, you know, like for me, I remember my educator saying, and this is when I was in school getting my educator's license. And she said, because it was like I was like missing, you know, school and everything. And she was like, well, how many people do you do during the day? You know, and I'm like, about anywhere between like 14 and 17, you know. And she was like, you need to have time for yourself and don't let nobody dictate your schedule. When I adopted that model, it was just like I still, you know, made the same amount of money. I just started like really being aggressive when it came to, you know, scheduling my appointments. Because I mean, listen, all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money, you know, and I felt like I was a robot. And I felt like some of my clients treated me like I was a robot. Like they didn't, you know, care about my life as long as they were getting their hair done. You know,
and the reality is, guess what, Ms. Jackson? They don't care. And it's not because it's a bad thing. It's just that we're providing a service. And you have to value the service you give. And I've learned that if you don't value you won't be good for anything.
Right.
You'll just be like a robot. Like I see some barbers like, yo, they cut hair and they go do what they do and they come right back and they just like damn robots.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I've been one of the damn robots. So I'm gonna really just speak about me.
Right.
So
yeah, I was too. I was R2D2, you know?
One of the things that I want to share, and I'm just gonna share this with everybody, and I share this with all of us. You should go get your feet done.
Yeah, I'm with that.
You should go get your feet done once a week. Donnie, what's something we should do to spend time with ourselves as professionals?
Oh man, a massage.
Yes.
And I ain't talking about
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about a real massage. Hey, Ron, listen. I always get the foot massage. That that thing that be on Facebook. I got it. And massage your feet is
Right.
real good.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Ron.
Yes.
Yeah, but get a massage.
Okay. Who else got something?
Mr. Ron.
Yes.
I was gonna actually add something on mental health.
Okay, go ahead.
Sometimes the clients look to you as their guardian angels. Mainly, and you don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know if you don't know if they could be contemplating suicide. Take it from me. I'm actually that same person who contemplates suicide about 3 times over. That's one personal fact about me. So that's why sometimes I put on a different mask when people come in. So I can make them feel at home. So I can make them feel nice when they get out of the chair. They could be like, maybe I have something to live in this world for.
Thanks for sharing that, Miles. Thanks for sharing that.
Yes, thanks for sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah, Miles, thank you. And Miles, don't get me wrong. That's what we do. We make people feel better.
Right.
All I want to acknowledge is I just want everyone to make sure you take time for yourself. Because this barber industry, right? I'm gonna tell you how it go. It start off slow. It start off real slow, slower than molasses. And when that thing pick up, and everybody find out that Donnie got the hand now,
right?
Or Billy got the bull Billy nice.
That he got the iron fist
on a beam. You know what happens? Word of mouth travels. Now you got 20 people talking about, I need a cut. That you like, this nigga ain't speak to me a day in my life. Or I don't even know this guy like this. And it can become overwhelming.
Yeah. Hey, look, let me
become overwhelming because, you know what I mean? If you're not grounded with you that energy is just like, So yeah, we just sharing what are some things we can do to time for ourselves, Bill. What you got for us?
Yeah, real quick, man, because I know you're about to go on break.
Take your time, guys. This we building.
Yeah, one of the things that I've learned over the years, man, that really helped me out is like, you know what I mean? When it comes to taking time for myself, when I'm scheduling my appointments, I schedule like an hour lunch break. You know what I mean? It was something that I never really did. And I was just cutting hair from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You know what I mean? Non-stop, not even eating. You know what I mean? Or if I did eat, it would be like, I'm going to swallow this real quick and get right back to the next cut. I would just, you know what I mean? I did that for years. You know what I mean? But it wasn't until, you know what I mean? Somebody, you know what I mean, kind of like brought to my attention, man, you need to take a lunch break, which most companies that you work for, they give you a lunch break. You know what I mean? Give you an hour lunch break. So I was like, damn, well, why don't I give myself an hour lunch break every day? You know what I mean? That's something that you can do every day, not just like once a week when you get your feet, this, that, and third, but something that you got to do every day is take time out every day by making sure you know what I mean? And this is just for the people that's kind of like busy all day. You know what I mean? With clients.
And no, you know what,
Jamil, did you find when you start taking that break, like that second half of your day, you like less burnt out or maybe a little just sharper, or like
listen, man. Yeah, it was everything, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, like it really, you know what I mean? Especially when it came to my stress, you know what I mean? That gave me an hour, 60 minutes to just you know what I mean? Kind of like, come down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was able to come back with a renewed state of mind, you know what I mean? And able to deal with my second half of my day a little bit better, you know what I mean? Like, so it was like everything, you know what I mean, to me, man. And I do that religiously, like, you know what I mean?
No, Jamil, really, I think that really is just a gem of advice, because I just look at you know, the different world where people doing Zooms and all that other stuff now. Just like you don't have traditional breaks in between meetings, you don't have breaks between stuff. You just go, 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 go. And next thing you know, you've been on meetings and calls all day, sitting home, and you haven't eaten or done anything. So you're right. You gotta just carve out an hour for yourself every day. I'm just thinking about that. That's something that I just don't do for myself. You're right. Probably adds to my headaches and stress and everything else. All right, good idea. Thanks, brother.
I think we all should do that, whether we busy or not.
Right.
You know, we should set these goals to, and I don't know why I woke up this morning and I just said, yo, I need to let the class know about mental health. I need to let you know, like, yo, don't like this game will come up on you so fast. And it's like you have to be prepared to deal with the public. You know. Right. So
Mr. Murray, I would like to piggyback.
Go ahead.
Really quick, I just wanted to add chiropractor and acupuncture and a spa day. But really quickly, the acupuncture and the chiropractor, if you happen to be receiving SNAP benefits or any health care through the through the city, I believe that it covers visits to the chiropractor and acupuncture.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely,
thanks for sharing that.
That's definitely a good stress reliever. So
I've definitely
we're gonna go to break.
Services.
I'm gonna share that video on our crew link. So I'll see you guys at 10:45. Great morning class, y'all. See you at 10:45.
So let's say you charge $40 for a haircut, and your goal is to get to $100. To get to $40, you did the following. Take
where you get your beats.
Alright you guys, so before we actually start cutting, what we're gonna do is pin the hair up to get the hair out of the way, so that way it's more visible for when I do the taper on the sides. So now that I have everything pinned up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set in the bald line using my Babylon Skeleton FX, and I'm gonna do it in a C-cup kind of way. I want my blend to have some shape to it, so that's the reason why I'm setting it in a curved kind of way and not just straight. Next, using my Stylecraft Rebels with the lever fully open, I'm going up about a ½ inch, using my corners, making sure that I build that curvature shape that I want. Now putting on my one guard with the lever open, I'm going up, I'm doing the same exact thing, still maintaining that C-like shape. So I'm sure you guys want to know my thoughts on the Rebels. I've been using them for a while now, and I feel like they cut better than the Seniors and the Masters. I'm going to be honest. That's just my opinion. They cut a lot smoother. So I'm going to be rocking with these for a while. So next, I'm going to clipper over comb the top, basically getting those hairs at the bottom to flow into that bulk up at the top. So I'm going to set my comb at a 45-degree angle and kind of go upward with my clipper. Now with my 2 guard with the lever open, I'm basically just flicking out, making sure that the hairs really flow into that bulk up at the top, just doing some detail work to make sure that everything flows. So coming back down, I like to take baby steps, throw back on my 1 guard, and basically, just detail that area between the 1 and the 2. Now just closing the lever on that 1 guard, again, baby steps. In a flick out motion, flick out that middle line. Now keep in mind that this is not going to take out the line. This is softening up the line. That way you can come behind it with the next step. Now that we have everything softened up by using the 1 guard with the lever closed, using the 0 guard with the lever closed in a flick out motion, using only my corners, I'm going to flick out starting below the line and flicking to the line. Now with the lever fully closed in a flick out motion, using only my corners, flick out that bottom line. Remember to adjust your lever as you go up. Don't just stay with the lever being closed. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're gonna have to move that lever, as you go higher in the blend. So next is where you detail your work. What I like to do is I like to look away from the blend for a second, come back to it, and just start doing corner work. What I realized that works for most people is utilizing your mirror. The mirror can show you different things about the blend that you couldn't see just head on. So make sure you utilize the mirror as well, and just corner work. Corner work plays a lot of part in getting those bulk areas clear and not so bulky. So right now, I'm going to use my Babyliss FX3 shavers, and I'm going to clean up the bottom. This is going to add another transition to your blend, also making it a lot cleaner at the bottom. Now as far as the back goes, I use the same exact steps. gonna clipper over comb the sides. That way I'm getting the hair basically up off of his ears, and it's gonna make the lineup a lot visible. So next, I'm gonna be working on the front line. Right now, I'm gonna start by clipping the hair up top, and then bringing down some of those baby hairs, making sure everything is nice and lined up and neat, to where it matches the sides. Now using my one guard with the lever closed, I'm just gonna go down on the front line, basically knocking everything down to that length. That way you'll come out with a better and more crispier line. Listen, let me tell you why they call me 360. When they sit in my chair, I spin them in a full 360, and they come out looking like, damn, son, we make it look easy. YouTube, this is the cut. And if you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, Hustle Dreams Production, that's my brother, he does all my beats. His YouTube channel will be linked in the description below. Make sure you guys go give him a follow. Also, if you want to know where you can find any tools that you've seen in this video, links will be in the description below. Otherwise, you guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My TikTok is official360Jeezy and my Instagram is 360Jeezy. But it's your boy 360Jeezy, and I'm out of here.
Okay. We back in the building. Back in the building. One more time. Let's go right here to it. Okay, just coming back, y'all. Just was showing another video on mental health. One of the things we have to do as barbers, we have to make sure that we get an adequate amount of rest. It's very important to get rest at night. It's very important to get sleep at night. Just speaking from experience, when I would try to hang out all night, and come in the barbershop and try to cut hair, you know what I mean? You could tell on my haircuts, you know what I mean? And it was because it was like I just became a slave, a robot, and was not taking good time for the body and mind to rest. So, just want to elaborate that we got to get plenty of rest. And one of the good things is about eating right. And eating right is also about being healthy. So while we on here, Mill, I was going to see if you can introduce the sea moss, the tea, and just kind of explain what kind of health benefits that they give us, just period.
Yeah.
Because today I'm focusing on mental health, and part of mental health is keeping your body healthy, especially with us being, if you deal with 10, 20 people, you coming around 10, 20 potential viruses, 10, 20 potential sicknesses. So you have to keep your immune system and body healthy. And Mill actually has some products that
yeah.
Go ahead, Cuz. You got it.
I sell sea moss. I sell it dry and gelled up. I sell sea moss mixed with beetroot I have spirulina sea moss. I have soursop sea moss, moringa sea moss. Those sea mosses, they do different things. You know what I mean? Overall, though, it provides you with 92 minerals that the body needs. It gives you a lot of energy. You know what I mean? People that work out, you know what I mean, usually, lean towards like the beetroot because it repairs the muscles quicker. You know what I mean? Gives you endurance. The moringa is good for like bone health. You know what I mean? Soursop is good for like building your immune system. So they do, different things or whatever. The spirulina is like a detox, is a blood cleanser. The beetroot is a blood cleanser as well. And then I sell soursop iced teas in 3 different flavors: blueberry, raspberry, and blackberry. The berries gives the tea high levels of antioxidants. You know what I mean? Kills cancer cells. It's very good for killing cancer cells. So but it's important. Eating right is definitely part of having a good mental state. So
I want to say, Mel, like at first I didn't know what sea moss was. And I didn't know what the big thing was about sea moss because a lot of people start, selling it, right? But one of the things I can say that kept me healthy during the pandemic was the sea moss. And I even think it was my man Billy Miller. You on here, Billy? He was even showing me some thorough ways to take the sea moss. Because like what I was doing was just eating it raw. I was taking two teaspoons of sea moss every morning, you know what I mean? And just swallowing. One of the ways Bill started finessing it was he was taking it and eating it with jelly. You know what I mean? Okay. Or another way that I started taking the sea moss was I would put it in my tea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the reason why I'm sharing that is because we are in a time now where people are getting sick and people are dying. You know what I mean? And the only thing that you got is your health. You know what I mean? So you got some of the cans to show us, Mel? Can you show us?
Well, I got. Yeah. I don't know if y'all can see
and this is about supporting Black businesses also and being healthy. So Mel is. You want to say where you at, cousin? How much you charge for the sea moss?
I'm at 8129 Stanton Avenue, right next to Uptown Cafe or whatever. Stanton Mount Pleasant, but the plain sea moss, 16-ounce jars, is 15. The ones, this is the beetroot. The other ones is 20. And then my bottles of iced teas are $5. And these are in 5 stores. You know what I mean? They in stores in Baltimore. I've been selling these teas for like 6 years. So these are doing very well.
Tell us a little bit more about the soursop, if you can.
Yeah. Well, the soursop is made all natural. It's made with alkaline water, ginger, lemon, and coconut sugar. So it's diabetic friendly, keto friendly, and vegan friendly. And like I said, the soursop teas is like really, really known for killing cancer cells. It does boost your immune system. And it gives you energy. You know what I mean? So it's a good iced tea to drink.
Go ahead, Donnie.
I've been taking sea moss for like 8 months. It helps with diabetes. My diabetes was high. The numbers was high. And this guy was I was getting my car worked on, and this guy was telling me that his friend was taking sea moss. He was taking the insulin at first. Started taking the sea moss, and he good now. That's all he take. So I started taking the pills, ordering it from Amazon. and like my numbers is 7.4. That's the last time I got a check. And my doctor was like, I'm doing something real good. He think that I'm still taking the metformin, but I stopped taking the metformin. I just take the CMAR. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
man. I think
heard
it's real,
I heard the brother
good.
say something. I heard the brother say something about cancer cells.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
My twin brother, right? Ron, no, I just got the news last week. They got stage 4 cancer, right? I'm
Yeah.
gonna come up there and get a couple of them. I'm going to come up there and, like right now, to get a couple of them just to help. You know, I know it ain't gonna be perfect, but just to help.
Right.
So I'm going to come up there now. I'll be up
Okay.
there in like 25 minutes.
Okay, I'll be here.
All right.
So yeah, man, just going over some things. Another good form of taking care of ourselves, I want to say, is working out. Getting a gym membership, or even getting up every day. If you're able to get up every day, go for a walk. One of the things that I want everybody to start setting some goals. I want us to set some goals. So, Ms. Jackson, you with us, Ms. Jackson?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. So let me ask you, Ms. Jackson, what is a goal that you can set for yourself as far as what we're talking about? Mental health, taking care of yourself better. What's a goal you can set?
For myself would be to take it in the proper nutrients, because that play a role too, you know what I mean, with your mental health. Sometimes what you eat, you put in your body can throw off, some mental stuff as well. So just eating more healthier, exercising more, and definitely spending more time, with my creator, being in his presence. And also, just being obedient to, what's in, what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. And that's it.
One of the things I heard you say, Ms. Jackson, you said this to me yesterday, and we had our shop meeting, and you said, learn how to enjoy the now, right, so you can be able to enjoy tomorrow, something of that nature.
I said, learn how to be in the here, enjoy the here so you can get to there.
Right. Enjoy the here so you can get to there. And that was just my point for class today is, we're coming off the weekend, first day of class back. I didn't want to bombard you guys because I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of each and every student. When I say I'm proud, I say that to the effect that anywhere I go, if somebody was to ask me about Pennsylvania Barber School, I know it's some real students there, and I know it's some learning, and I know it's some that's going to be great. And you can't convince me otherwise or nothing less. And I just wanted to share about taking time for yourselves, taking time to make sure you don't burn out, because it's easy to burn out. Another suggestion is, as barbers, just professionals, you want to try to vacation at least 4 times a year. 4 times a year, even if it's, and I say that because it's winter, spring, summer, fall. You got 4 seasons. So like every season, you should want to get away, even if it's for a day. Even if it's for 2 days, it don't have to be nothing extravagant, but you want to always take time for yourself, take time for your family, and take time to take care of your affairs. you know, because you could burn out. Mr. Wayne, how you doing? You on mute.
Hey, how you doing?
Good,
Hello,
good.
fellow students.
What's up, Dwayne?
What's up? All right.
We were talking today about mental health and taking time for yourself, taking time to you know, not become a robot, not to become a slave in that behind that chair. And we were just sharing what are some of the things that you must do to make sure that you stay in the right mind. What's some of the things you do, Wayne?
Stay away from negativity. That's first. Want people around, people around you that want to help you build. Also get a lot of rest and just, prepare yourself. Always prepare yourself a day ahead of time. That's basically how I do mine.
Got you. And that's something we talked about, getting rest. But you said something I haven't heard all day. And that's preparation.
Right.
Preparation. It was once told to me the 5 P's: prior planning prevents poor performance. So, we always want to try to prepare ourselves, just like we preparing for the state board. You know what I mean? I think the state board test is like the Wizard of Oz. And if anybody watched the Wizard of Oz, he was a little man behind the curtain, making himself seem like a big giant. And that's how I look at the state board, that the state board, it looks like a big giant, but it ain't a giant. And all of y'all are, I believe, capable of passing the state board examination. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So listen,
I'm ready.
Tonight's homework is, if you haven't finished reading, you must finish reading chapter 5. Must finish reading chapter 5. Tomorrow morning, we're going to start the review questions. So if you haven't read and you haven't started your review questions, we're going to have a long class tomorrow. If some of y'all have read, if some of y'all have started the review questions, we should be able to have a good, knowledgeable class tomorrow. Any comments or questions?
I'm on chapter 13.
So Donnie, if you want, you can start chapter 5. Chapter 5 is easy. It's easy for the veteran barbers. Chapter 5 is on tools and implements.
Yeah, I already did that. What I'm trying to say is, when I was going through what I was going through, I chose to read, to get my mind off what I was going through.
All right, that's fine. And that's what you're supposed to do. But tomorrow morning, we're going to do the review questions for chapter 5.
No problem.
That's where we at tomorrow. For those coming to the school today, I'll see you guys at 1:00. Any questions or comments, y'all? Any questions?
Mr. Murphy.
Yes, Ms. Jackson.
Yeah, how long are you gonna be at the school?
I can call you and let you know, because I have to go to King today, Martin Luther King High School.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as we hang up, I'm gonna call the King teachers, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know momentarily.
Hey, Ron.
You know what? Don't worry about it. I'll just drop that off, okay?
Drop what?
The diagram.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if you can, give it to Sean or Vinny and have them make sure they put it on my desk.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Ron.
All right.
Yes, sir.
My only problem be, if I go there at 1:00, I pick my wife up. So I'll be leaving like 15 minutes.
Right.
That's I'm trying to get her to start driving because I need to see my brother more. So you
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
No,
So I'm
no,
working on
man.
that.
Listen, I get it, man. You know, that's why. More importantly, if you want to come back after you drop your wife off, you're more than welcome to do that also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we pretty much open to like 7, and Mr. Jimmy will be there to 7. So, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And let me just say this. Let me ask y'all this. I don't know. Well, let me say this. I have purchased business cards for all the students. There's business cards for all the students for you to write your name down and write your phone number. If you have not got any business cards, see me or Mr. Vinny so you can get your business cards. I just want to put it out there and make it clear that there has been a lot of people coming in for haircuts. The walk-ins belong to you guys. Anybody that's a new customer goes to the students, but they can't go to the students if y'all not there. So what I'm saying to y'all, it's time to step y'all cut game up because people coming in there, and guess what? If there ain't no students there, they're gonna go to Jimmy, they're gonna go to Brian, and they're gonna go to Mr. Vince. So if you're trying to step your cut game up, if you're saying that you need to put a couple dollars in your pocket, the foundation is laid. It's just a matter of you guys stepping up and stepping to the plate. Other than that, the class today, homework, chapter 5, review questions tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, everybody have a good
Mr. Ron,
one.
you go to
Yes,
lunch
sir.
now? You go to